Guys, woo. Hi guys, right, it's like the weather's actually okay. I haven't had enough time to notify anyone. It's a bit of a rush job, so I just did a quick 10-minute live on defending Elvis on the laptop, and it froze, so internet's being funny today, but it doesn't matter. It was part 2 of the Priscilla interview in Bad Newheim, so I'm going to come back and I'm going to do that again. If you want to watch it, it's there. It's about 10 minutes on defending Elvis Presley. So I've just been to the tip. I'm getting rid of the junk in my garden. I just want to make the garden a bit nicer. I'm not good at gardening. I'm okay in the garden, like I enjoy the garden. I'm just not very good at it. I don't have a flair for gardening, even though I do like gardens, which is a bit odd. So we're going to carry on my story about Priscilla. Stay here. Now, we're watching the Priscilla Presley interview in Bad Newheim. You guys know that I'm just very annoyed about that statue hugging situation where they did artificial intelligence to try and make us feel as if Elvis and Priscilla are still in love 50 odd years later, 50 odd years after they met, by making Priscilla hug the statue in Bad Newheim, which is just, the whole thing is all about tricking the public, twisting the public's perception in as well. Just all of it is like a bit too much. So it's got me really thinking about Priscilla. Hi Lorna. I'm still trying to brainstorm the game that Priscilla plays. Now, I don't do this from hate, I do this from exposing truth for Elvis so we can defend him. Never hate, guys, never hate. So I've started sort of trying to understand the game that she plays, how she manipulates the world, the press, just normal people, the average family person, the average person. I'm trying to understand what is she trying to do? And it's not a new thing. This is going back right into the late 70s, early 80s. Obviously, with the book Elvis and Me, that's by the time she gets to the book Elvis and Me, she's already been playing the game. Because if you look at the other interviews that she did before the book was released, she's already playing the game of poor me, I'm a victim, look what I went through. I had to, at the hands of Elvis Presley, look what terrible things I endured as Elvis's wife, his fiance, the mother of his baby, a single mum, bringing up a child on her own. This is the ploy that she's playing to try and convince us that she has been wronged, that she is a victim. So I started trying to understand it. Let me just get over it, and let me just get past people. So you think about it, guys. Let's get our head round it. So we've got Priscilla Presley. Now, we know, obviously, they meet in Germany briefly. They have a friendship. Who knows how long it was, 2 to 6 months. She obviously, there's either a game plan at play with the child bride type thing, where it was all pre-planned and the parents were involved and Cary Grant was involved, or we believe her version that a complete stranger said, oh, I know Elvis, would you like to meet him? So let's imagine both are true, because the end goal is she still meets him in Bad Newheim, yeah? So she meets him, whether she's playing a game or not. She's in the same room as Elvis. Now, Elvis has got a lot of plans. He knows he's going back to America. Everything's booked up. Colonel Tom Parker's taken care of everything. GI Blues, the film with Juliet Prowse, the Frank Sinatra Coming Home special, which is literally a world sensation. Nancy Sinatra meets him on the way out, gives him a silk shirt gift from her father Frank. RCA album, I've got lined up a couple of albums for him to do, RCA Victor. The train journey back from all the way back to America was massively publicised. So think about it, guys. Elvis knows. He knows. Every day of his life is planned out after he starts his journey back to America, back to Graceland. Anita Wood's waiting for him. In Germany, Elvis had 3 or 4 different girlfriends. Yeah, the Priscilla was a brief friendship. Priscilla Presley, a brief friendship. Priscilla Bulow. We have strong views about her friendship, how Priscilla's parents were involved in everything that happened. There's strong views. Many say, oh my God, why did they let her go? Things like that. We've heard it all before. So Priscilla, you think about it. Elvis has gone. It's obvious he was also seeing other women. We know that he was still seeing Anita Wood. So Priscilla is in Germany. I'm trying to, the name of the town, is it something like Wiesbaden or something? She didn't live in Bad Nauheim. She travelled to Bad Nauheim to meet him. So try and put yourself in her shoes. She wants to meet Elvis. She wants to see him again. From what we know, she was sending him records, some rock and roll ballads. She was writing to him. She's always said it was in pink envelopes so that they would stand out. We don't know that that's true. Come on, guys. Thousands and thousands of girls would have sent Elvis letters in pink envelopes. Come on. Does anyone here for a second, please put it in the comments, think that Priscilla was the only girl sending Elvis letters in pink envelopes? Come on. It's the most common envelope colour that a woman would send Elvis. Let's go over here. Anyway, so she's hoping. Yeah, Carolyn, you get it. The whole pink envelope thing, I'm not falling for it. So then you've got, she says that she was sending him records, that he'd started phoning her. She sort of says, oh, I didn't hear from him for ages. But then he starts phoning me. We don't know if he phoned her. We don't know what went on. We don't know if she was phoning him. We don't know what had gone on. We don't know if the parents had contacted him, if they were sending telegrams. We just don't really know. We have Priscilla's version in her book that Elvis phoned her. Now remember, we know that Elvis was seeing other people. 100% he was seeing Anita Wood. We've all heard the story from Anita Wood where she overhears a conversation with Vernon, which is why Anita left. Elvis was heartbroken. He was even tearful. Everybody loved Anita Wood, including Elvis's parents. I'm going to say this straight, guys. I do think that towards the second part of Elvis's relationship with Anita Wood, I do feel sorry for Anita. I do. She 100% was a decent girl, a lovely girl, and she had given her life to him. Even though she had a career, she'd been offered a movie career by Paramount. She really did wait for Elvis. I know she got on with her life, you know. She had a very, very successful... Right, 1 second, guys. Right, hang on. Sorry, guys. Right. God. You know I hate doing that. picking up the chocolate. I've always felt sorry for Anita Wood, come on. Honestly, but she did meet a superstar that was already a superstar when she met him. I know he became even more of a superstar, but he already was. She was very successful in her own right. She had her own pop program and many, many things. A beautiful, very talented lady, Anita Wood. But Elvis was seeing other people in Germany. We know this, even the secretary in the house at Bad Nauheim. So I'm going somewhere with this, guys. Elvis was seeing different people in Germany. He was seeing different people when he comes back to America. Now, Priscilla likes to give us the impression that her and Elvis were very close, that Elvis was very lonely in Germany. This is the picture she paints. Now, I don't think he was. I think Elvis set himself up a lovely little life in Germany. Let me just get past these people. Dogs. When I see dogs, I have to protect the... I think Elvis had it pretty cushy in Germany. Of course, he served his time. He was proud to serve the his time in the army. And he was proud to serve for his country. Elvis loved America. We know that. But I think he had it pretty cushy. Yeah, he would do what he had to do in the army. He loved it. He never wanted to be treated special. He wanted to muck in with the soldiers, just like everyone else. No special treatment for Elvis. He did his graft. But then, obviously, he was staying at the house with family, with friends. The house was hustle and bustle. I think Elvis had a really good time in Germany. Yeah? Now, Priscilla gives us the impression he was lonely and depressed. Now, of course, he was gutted. He'd lost his mum during basic training at Fort Worth, is it? I always get the name mixed up. But it was over a year later. But Priscilla will talk about Elvis losing his mum as if it happened weeks later. And then she met him. Honestly, you will look at the interviews. Priscilla gives the impression that she meets Elvis and Elvis is still grieving over his mother as if it had only just happened, when we know it was over a year earlier. If you look at the dates, I could be wrong about the dates, you tell me, guys, but I know it was at least 10 months, maybe longer. We've looked at this before, haven't we? We looked up the dates. So I agree Elvis was grieving over his mum even a year after. Of course, Elvis grieved over his poor mother Gladys till the day he died. But Priscilla gives the impression it just happened. Then she gives the impression there was no English-speaking people in Bad Nauheim. It's complete rubbish. There is no way that she was the only English-speaking girl. There's no way that is true. I'm trying to pick out the lies, guys. I'm trying to tell you the story that we are being spoon-fed. She then says that Elvis only poured his heart out to her because Elvis didn't feel that he could pour his heart out to anybody else except for her. I'm not convinced. He definitely had family and friends there, and he would have had certain people that he trusted. But she gives the impression that she was the one that he poured his heart out to, that he grieved to about Gladys. She even gives the impression, if you don't do your research, Priscilla even gives the impression that she knew this well. I think in a sort of way, sometimes the way she answers her questions, it's like Gladys was still alive when Elvis met Priscilla, when we know she obviously wasn't. She had died a year earlier. She plays a game. She plays a game almost as if she likes to give the impression that Elvis, is that Rick just sent me a message? She likes to get, hi Rick, are you watching it with your daughter? Is that what you just said? Hi, Rick's daughter, are you watching us on Instagram? She likes to give the impression that she actually knew Gladys. We know that she didn't. I've heard this strange story that she went up into the attic and put Gladys's clothes on, tried out Gladys's clothes, which obviously that is creepy. I understand being nosy. I do understand being nosy, going up to the attic and going through Elvis's stuff, but I also think it's creepy. But I understand it. You get it? We're all nosy by nature, aren't we? I still think it's odd that she actually tried her clothes on. So, Priscilla is telling her story, the story that she wants us to believe. Now, this is a bit of an unusual thing I'm going to say. Hi, Rick. I can see your picture. Say hello to your daughter. Right. So, Priscilla, how can I say it? She sees us. I think this is extreme, guys, what I'm going to say. I think Priscilla thinks we, the public, are stupid, that we are dumbed out. I think Priscilla thinks that she can tell us whatever she wants and we are going to believe it. Whether it be in the 1970s or 80s or 90s or noughties, 2010, 20, 30, you name it. She thinks we're pretty stupid. Now, she plays the numbers game. She has her version of events. Whether or not we're talking about Elvis's drug problem, eating problem, Elvis's temper, grooming, controlling, Elvis being with her at age 14, giving us the impression they were together for 14 years from the minute Elvis met her to the day of the divorce. She plays a game. It's a numbers game. If I keep telling this story, I'm saying the story to millions of people, well, okay, you're going to get, I don't know, 1 million people that are against her, that can see that she's lying, twisting the truth, exaggerating. But the general population, go for it. Do you get what I'm saying, guys? The general population, this is the numbers game that Priscilla plays, in my opinion. The general population believe everything she says. They believe that she is the poor victim, that she was left home with the baby on her own with no help, that she was left to bring up a child on her own without Elvis, that she was lonely, that she hated living in Graceland. It was a very sad time for her. She had to put up with Elvis wanting to be with the Memphis Mafia all the time. She had to put up with Elvis going off to make movies, Elvis going off to do concert tours. Elvis liked being with the guys. She makes her world out as if it was a complete nightmare, as if every day was a struggle. Now let's think about this, guys. Let's think about it. She's talking to the general public. So we are the general public. A lot of us have husbands, wives, children, grands, uncles, aunties. Now, if we're talking about a normal person, imagine if it was me and my wife, and I'm never home. I'm always away. No, let's say it differently. Imagine I'm with my wife. I go to work Monday to Friday. I see my wife at nights and weekends. That's a normal life. The wife could be at home with the babies. Many wives choose to work, but it's quite common that wives like to stay home with the babies when they're small until the kids are big enough so that the wives can work. So a lot of wives want to work, but this is my point. She's talking to us, the general public. She's telling us a story about her life with Elvis, as if Elvis was a normal 9-to-5 person. The story that she told us this morning on Facebook that I read out, where she basically says, poor me, look what I went through. I struggled as a single mother. I was very lonely at Gracelands. I was always left alone. All Elvis cared about was being with the Memphis Mafia and making movies and doing albums and doing tours, and he was unfaithful. Oh, I was so young when I met him. I didn't understand. This is the story she keeps telling again and again. But if you break down the story, it's different. She moved over from Germany to live, firstly with Dee Stanley and Vernon, to live with Elvis, knowing exactly the lifestyle that Elvis had. Right, let me just let the dogs off. Okay. So we're gonna, right, hopefully we won't lose signal, yeah guys, because I'm gonna walk you down a different path. This is a bit of a different walk for you guys. She's trying to talk to us about her life with Elvis as if Elvis was a completely normal person. When I say normal person, I mean as if Elvis had a normal life, a normal job, a normal existence. She met a rock star. Even at 14, she met the most famous man in the world who was even a movie star, beautiful and talented and single. Elvis had other girlfriends. He always had, even in Germany in 1959. Even when Elvis went back to America, he had other girlfriends. So somehow a manipulation has taken place. We don't know all the true facts because we don't trust what Priscilla says. But the bottom line is, she's managed to get to Graceland. She's managed to get to Graceland. Elvis must have liked her to a certain degree. We do accept that. I do think that Elvis was tricked and conned into thinking that Priscilla was a very innocent person, a very different person than she truly was. Because I don't think Elvis got to see the true Priscilla until the baby was born. I think when the baby was born, Elvis started to see the real Priscilla. Now, I think that there was a fake Priscilla being shown to Elvis when he first met her and leading up to him allowing her to move to America. So Elvis finds out what Priscilla's like. Now, we know that Priscilla moved. We know Priscilla moved to America. Look, I'm in a different area now, guys. Look where we are. Look how beautiful that is. Whee! Carolyn, are you going to insult my river? Carolyn, it's not swampland. Carolyn. Anyway, so she manages to get to America. We know the story. I know, Carolyn. So we know the story. Elvis, she's unfaithful with Steve Peck, the dance instructor, months after Lisa's born, which is disgusting. Let's face it, guys. It's about as bad as things get. Elvis cannot believe what has happened. He finally gets to see the true Priscilla, the real Priscilla, who to me seems like she was a bit of a floozy, a bit easy. May have been shagging Cary Grant to meet Elvis. It's possible, isn't it, guys? This is all opinions for entertainment purposes. Now, this is my point I'm trying to say. So it all goes wrong. In 1968, a couple of months after the marriage, it all goes wrong. Elvis can't believe it. He's humiliated, he's gutted, he's embarrassed. The most famous man in the world, and he committed to the marriage, to the engagements, to the baby, to the birth, a very public, everything was very public in all the tabloids. So this is my point. This is my point. So now she has to tell a new story, because we know that she moved to America to be with Elvis, knowing that he was busy, he was committed to the movies. Later on, obviously in the 70s, he was committed. From 69 onward, he was committed to the concert tours, yeah? She knew exactly what she was getting into. She knew exactly what she was getting into. She was getting with a famous man who had lived as a single man. Now, secretly, she's acting like she is a virgin. Now, she gets caught out. She gets found out. Even though Elvis had given her everything, committed to a marriage, a baby, a house. He gave everything to Priscilla, and her thanks was to be unfaithful with the dance instructor months after Lisa Marie was born. So then later on, 18 months later, she does it all again with Mike Stone, the karate champion. We've heard it all before, yeah? She's caught again. This time she's made a plan. She has decided Mike Stone is her way away from Elvis. She's made a plan. She demands a divorce. I don't care what anyone says, she demanded a divorce. Elvis didn't believe in divorce. Yes, he filed for it, but she definitely a home wrecker. She wrecks Francis Stone's family, who was pregnant with a small girl. Mike Stone, it's disgusting what he did. He gave in to Priscilla's temptations. Let's face it, Priscilla, the most famous woman on the planet, very wealthy, and beautiful and sexy. And Mike, being a stupid idiot, fell for her charms, stitched up his wife, Francis Stone, that was pregnant, and his little daughter, and made a stupid mistake and went off with Priscilla because all he could think about was having sex with her. And his ego was like, oh my God, Elvis's wife wants me, I can't believe it. Mike Stone was just a Dumbo. He got taken advantage of, he got used, he got dropped like a rock. So this is my point, guys. So it's all out now. The divorce happens. They do have a divorce settlement at first. I think the first divorce settlement was okay. Elvis is very generous. Now this is when things start to change. This is when we start to see the real Priscilla. It's 1973. She's trying to do her own thing. She does Biss and Bo, the clothing boutique. Elvis has started to become unwell now. We all know the story. Elvis was very sick and gradually gets more unwell. There's many reasons why Elvis was unwell. He did have genuine health problems. People call him a drug addict. They ignore that he had serious health problems. They ignore it. We can't change that. Priscilla plays on the fact that the world thinks Elvis was an addict. The world thinks Elvis was the serial unfaithful guy. Now Elvis was unfaithful in the early 60s before the engagement. I think there was a short period where he wasn't. I think he did try for a while. But after he catches Priscilla being unfaithful, he goes back to his old ways. So let's move further down the road. Elvis eventually passes away and dies. It's horrific, we all miss him, we're all gutted. Poor little Lisa Marie is the biggest victim of everything because she is forced to live with Mike Stone for 4 years, a complete stranger. She's taken away from her father. We've heard it all before. Then we move on to, let's get nearer to the 80s. The public aren't happy with Priscilla. They feel that she has badly treated Elvis. This is when they divorced. The public weren't happy with Priscilla in 1973, 4 and 5. So Priscilla comes up with a cunning plan. How am I gonna change public opinion? This is when she starts having interviews. This is when she starts thinking about writing the book. I think she starts having these interviews and she starts playing the victim. Poor me, I was lonely, I was left alone, I hated living in Graceland. Graceland was a prison. I was groomed, I was controlled. Elvis forced me how to do my hair, my makeup. Elvis ruled my life, even though none of that is true. None of that is true. Elvis did not force Priscilla how to do her hair and makeup, how to dress. It's all bullshit. But Priscilla starts to realize she can say what she wants and the public are believing it. So she's having these interviews. Elvis did this, Elvis did that, he was unfaithful, he was a drug addict. Almost no admission of her wrongdoing, her unfaithfulness. Never mentioning that she was shagging the dance instructor months after Lisa Marie was born. She's playing a game. She's realized that the public are easy to fool. I repeat, Priscilla has realized that the public are easy to fool. I can trick the public. I can say what I want. I can rewrite history. I can change history. Who's gonna stop me? Nobody, because Elvis has died. Elvis can't stand up for himself. He's not here anymore. Who's gonna disagree with me? Nobody is disagreeing with Priscilla, nobody. She realizes that she has a blank canvas and that she can say whatever she wants. Priscilla realizes she has a blank canvas and she can say whatever she wants. This is where the idea comes up. This is where the idea comes up to write the book. So she writes the book. Now she, by this point, by the time Priscilla writes this book, sorry, I'm not seeing your comments at the moment. By the time Priscilla writes the book, she has realized she can say what she wants. She can say what she wants. She can make up the story however she wants. Are you all hearing me okay, guys? I'm just double checking. Can you hear me? So she writes the book. The whole world fought for the book. The whole world fought for the book. All right, okay, I just saw that. Everyone believes it, even us. Didn't we believe it? In the 1980s, we believed that book. We fell for it. Oh, thanks, Adrian. We fell for it, didn't we? We were all suckered by Priscilla. We believed the bullshit. We believed that Elvis was the reason the marriage went wrong. We believe that Elvis is the reason, is to blame for everything. We believe that he controlled Priscilla. We believe that Priscilla hated living at Graceland. I'm on about to the people that read it, okay? We believe all the bullshit. Now we do start to wise up. We do start to wise up. We start to realize that we're being lied to. This is the Elvis fans through different social media outlets, and before the internet, we all started to go, ooh, something isn't right. Not me personally, I'm on about Elvis fans. Elvis fans started to realize that we're being lied to, but there's no one to defend Elvis. So Priscilla is playing on this. Priscilla is playing the numbers game. The numbers game is this. I'll tell my version of events, my fake version of events. This is the M5. Adrian, it's the M5, yeah? I'll tell Priscilla I'll tell the world my version of events. The majority will believe me, some won't. And this is the numbers game that Priscilla plays. Because what she does, she banks on people relating to her life. So if you're a family woman, a family man with a couple of kids living in a normal home, and you listen to Priscilla and she starts saying, oh, I was lonely, I was left on my own to bring up a child, I had to bring up poor Lisa on my own with no help of her father. She's banking on normal people going, oh yeah, I know how you feel, Priscilla. That happened to me. My husband left me. I was stuck to bring up my kids on my own. She's relying on the public to relate to her and feel sorry for her, even though she wasn't with a normal person. She was with a rock star, the most famous man in the world. She was with Elvis Presley, a movie star, the most sought after man ever. So this is the trick. This is the trick, guys. This is how we're being scammed by Priscilla. That she is relying on a numbers game, that the majority of people will believe her. The majority of people believe the book, Elvis and Me. When she puts out the film, Priscilla, Sofia Coppola's film, it's like, oh yeah, millions will watch it and they will believe it. Even the book Elvis and Me, oh, loads of people believe it. Even the film, even Baz Luhrmann's film, yeah? It follows the same storyline. Baz Luhrmann's biopic, it follows the same storyline. Poor Priscilla. Priscilla the victim, the groomed, controlled person. Poor Priscilla, Elvis was unfaithful to her, left her alone all the time. She had to grow up in with Lisa on her own at Graceland. It follows the same storyline. Elvis was off being unfaithful, off making movies, off doing his concert tours. Poor Priscilla. It doesn't mention that she was being unfaithful. It doesn't mention that she loved her life, that she was never alone, that she had a very busy life. She had total freedom. She was never groomed. She was never controlled. Elvis was so kind to Priscilla. It doesn't mention how cruel Priscilla was in the divorces. The second divorce almost bankrupting Elvis. So do you get what I mean by she's playing a numbers game? Because even now, you think about it, guys, she's gone to Germany. We've all seen the stupid video where she's hugging the statue in Germany in Bad Nauheim. How many people would have watched that and thought, oh, isn't that lovely? They still love each other. Isn't that beautiful? They still love each other. How many people will watch that video and go, oh, they were still together when Elvis died? Oh, poor Priscilla, she still loves Elvis. Oh, Elvis still loved Priscilla when he died. Oh, Elvis always wanted Priscilla back. Get what I'm saying? How many of the public think that Elvis was going to get back with Priscilla? This is the trick. This is the con. A numbers game. The majority believe that Elvis and Priscilla were still in love when Elvis died. It's ridiculous. It's a complete joke. But the numbers game is always going to be in favor of Priscilla, because Priscilla is telling her story to millions of people around the world on different news articles, interviews, movies, interviews, biographies. Social media has now been completely swamped with these fake Priscilla channels that are promoting Priscilla and bad-mouthing Elvis. There are now millions of social media things that are now lying about the truth, twisting the truth in favor of Priscilla. So the numbers game is working for Priscilla, because the majority of the public blame Elvis for the breakup. The majority of the public think Elvis is a drug addict that wanted to get off his face on drugs. They don't understand that he was very sick. The public don't know that Elvis was sick. We know, because we're the fans. We know very well Elvis was very sick. Do you get what I'm saying to you guys? Her little game is working. She's relying on the general public, the normal people in their homes around the world, in every country, to fall for her bullshit, and it's working. This big scam, this big trick that started off on the lead up to the making of the book Elvis and Me has worked. She's just been given a so-called Memphis honor. Honorary civilian of Nashville, Tennessee, but they're calling it a Memphis Award. They're calling it a Memphis Award. Even though it isn't, it's a Nashville Award that she did nothing to earn. Right, this way, come on. Come on. Princess, come on. Right, let's get the dogs going this way, because I've just seen a dog. Ella, Princess, come on. We gotta go this way, otherwise the dogs are gonna fight. Woo, it's a bit muddy as well. So I'm coming to a point now to try and get you guys to understand. David, Elvis's World. We were just talking about your video. Hi, David, Elvis World. We were doing a review of your video. Welcome, my name's Louis. Everyone say hello to David. Hi, David. I hope you didn't mind that we reviewed your video yesterday and some of it today, but most of it yesterday. And we're gonna do part 2 tomorrow. You're very welcome to Defending Elvis Presley. Let's all say hello to David, guys. David, David, please don't think we're a Priscilla hate channel. We don't hate Priscilla. We want to expose the wrongdoing. There's a difference. We want to defend Elvis and discuss how unfair things have been portrayed for Elvis. David, you're welcome. But I do want you to know, David, I don't hate Priscilla. I don't hate her. I want to expose the wrongdoing. I don't hate Priscilla. I defend Elvis. There's a big difference. Anyway, we are not a Priscilla hate channel. Please know that, yeah? Right. So this is my point, guys. Priscilla plays the numbers game. She plays the numbers game. She tells her story of the book Elvis and Me. Obviously, the most recent thing is the film, Sofia Coppola's film. That's the most recent thing, yeah? So what I'm trying to say to you guys is the public generally will believe Priscilla's version of events. She will believe it. When they see her getting the Nashville Award, they'll think, oh, Priscilla, you deserve that. When Elvis is the one that deserved that award, in 1961, March the 8th, Elvis got the award. He deserved it. He earned it. He changed the world. He changed the world, Elvis did. He deserved the Nashville, Tennessee Award. Priscilla did not. Now, we've done our research. We know that, David. That came across in your very, very good video, Footsteps in Bad Nauheim. We can see that you are fair. Now, the problem we've got is you've got films like Sofia Coppola's film Priscilla. It's so unfair to Elvis. It portrays Elvis in such an unfair way. It really does, doesn't it? It's like, if they were, you know, we accept that Elvis made mistakes. We accept that Elvis has been unfaithful. We accept that Elvis took too much prescribed medication. But we will bring up the fact that Elvis was very sick, very unwell, and needed medication. We won't ignore the fact that Priscilla was also unfaithful. Priscilla was also unfaithful. So we're like, Elvis shouldn't be blamed for all the unfaithfulness when Priscilla was doing it as well during the marriage. This is how we feel. We're like, okay, let's bring up the negative things about Elvis and say that mistakes that Elvis made, but let's also bring up the negative things about Priscilla and say the negative things that she did. Let's bring up her unfaithfulness. Let's bring up the two different divorce settlements. The second divorce settlement nearly bankrupt Elvis. She placed a charge on Graceland, the building. She placed a debt on Graceland that forced Elvis to sell his recording rights pre-1973. And this was still going on when Elvis died. So Priscilla tries to give the impression that her and Elvis were close in 1977, when really she was suing him for more money. She was suing him for the second divorce settlement that she promised she would never do. We want this brought up. We don't want all the negative stuff to be on Elvis. It's not fair. Even with the way that Priscilla's boyfriend, Michael Edwards, who has admitted in his book that there was abuse. Lisa Marie said in her book, From Here to the Great Unknown, that she was allegedly abused. Whilst Priscilla was in charge, whilst Priscilla was the parent, the responsible parent. We want this brought up. If Priscilla has made mistakes that has damaged poor Lisa Marie, we want it brought up. We don't want the world to think that everything was Elvis's fault. This is what we're trying to do here at Defending Elvis Presley. We're trying to show the world there's another side to the story. We feel that Lisa Marie Presley's book has been ignored. We think that the book From Here to the Great Unknown has been swept under the carpet and forgotten about. Why has it been swept under the carpet? Why has this book, that is a new book, that tells us many truths about Priscilla, about what went on with Michael Edwards, Priscilla's boyfriend, the guy who was in Terminator, the model, the male model, why has it been forgotten about? We want justice for Lisa Marie. We want the mistakes that Priscilla made to be exposed. We don't want the world to just think Elvis was the bad guy, everything wrong that happened was Elvis's fault, and the image and reputation that Elvis has got since Priscilla took over the running of Gracelands is disgusting. He deserves better. No one can defend Elvis other than the fans. The problem we've got is that the fans are believing everything that Priscilla says, everything Priscilla puts out there. Priscilla has been in charge for over 40 years, telling her story, her narrative. She's put her spin on the truth, and she has changed the truth. We feel that Priscilla has rewritten history in her favor. She has rewritten history to make her look like a victim and Elvis look like this horrible person, when we know Elvis did so much good for the world, for his fellow man, for the general public, for his country. He did so much good for charity. He always looked out for his family and friends. He always looked after perfect strangers. The image and reputation that Elvis has got around the world is very unfair. It has been tarnished by decades of lies. Decades of lies. Now, we're not whitewashing Elvis. We know Elvis's wrongdoing. We know Elvis made mistakes. We know Elvis saw other women. We know that he abused his prescribed medication when he became very sick, in a lot of pain, in a lot of discomfort. We know that the medication situation went very badly, especially the last 3 years. We know that. But what did Priscilla do? This is the thing. Okay, we all know about Elvis's wrongdoings. What about Priscilla's wrongdoings? Why does Priscilla never bring up her wrongdoings? Never. You will not see Priscilla sit in an interview in any country and admit her wrongdoings, ever. I think the only thing she's ever admitted is the karate Mike Stone, the relationship with him, and that was in the 80s. You will never see Priscilla talk about the divorce settlements, how cruel the second divorce settlement was. What about how she went against her daughter Lisa Marie Presley's wishes that her inheritance would be given to Ben, Riley, Finley and Harper, and that Priscilla went against it, suing her own daughter, really, suing Riley, her granddaughter. Why was money taken from Finley and Harper and Riley and given to Priscilla? This was Lisa Marie's inheritance that should have gone to Lisa's children. But Priscilla had a lump sum of it, $1 million, 400,000 legal fees, 100,000 a year payroll, and also, right, let me just get the dogs back on the leads a minute. Right, Ella, come here. Let's get the dogs. Money is being taken out of the pocket of Lisa Marie's children. Right, 1 second, come here. Come on, Ella. Come on. Okay guys, we're going to start walking back now. We've got about 10-15 minutes. The whole thing is a travesty, and the biggest Lisa Marie, Elvis was a victim, and now Finley and Harper and Riley are victims. Because I feel that there's still a lot of damage being done by Priscilla. This trip to Bad Neuheim and this hugging of that statue, it sends out the wrong message, because what it's saying is this: me and Elvis were still in love when he died. It gives the general public the feeling that Priscilla and Elvis were still together when he died. It gives the public a general feeling that Priscilla and Elvis were always in love and that Elvis wanted Priscilla back. Now, with Priscilla getting, which is not true by the way, with Priscilla getting the award from Nashville, Tennessee, it gives the impression that she is the reason Elvis's legacy has been preserved, which is so far from the truth. The fans are the reason Elvis's legacy is preserved. The reason Graceland is such a success is because of Elvis. His talent. It was, David, it was creepy, wasn't it? Now, the strange thing is, Priscilla and Elvis split up 5 years before he died. The reason they split up was disgusting. There were 2 times that Priscilla was unfaithful. She was unfaithful in 1968, months after Lisa Marie was born, with Steve Peck. She's admitted it in her book. And then 18 months later, she's unfaithful again with a karate instructor, Mike Stone. Now, I know that Elvis, after 1968, after Priscilla was unfaithful, Elvis went back to his own ways and started seeing other people. We know about Susan Henning and stuff like that. But he had caught his wife being unfaithful. This is the thing people don't understand. You catch your wife being unfaithful 2 months after your baby's born, Lisa Marie, you're not going to touch her. You're not going to want to sleep with her. Elvis went back to his old ways. He did, I admit it. After Elvis caught Priscilla being unfaithful in 1968, months after Lisa was born, he went back to seeing other women. But do you blame him? He was humiliated. He had been married, a very public marriage. It was in all the tabloids. Then she got pregnant very quickly. We've already found out now that she was not a virgin when Elvis slept with her, because Lisa Marie put it in her book, From Here to the Great Unknown. Elvis was sleeping with Priscilla when she was 18. So there's a lot of lies being told here. You've got Priscilla lying for over 40 years that she was a virgin on the night of the wedding. We've proved that she's lied about it for over 40 years because Lisa Marie put it in her book. She was not a virgin. Now, if Priscilla can lie about that for 40 to 50 years on TV, in interviews, in her book, then that means we can't trust anything she says. We cannot trust anything Priscilla says. Remember, Elvis can't get up and go, oh, that's not true. When Priscilla tells her lies, Elvis can't get up and go, that ain't true, that never happened. You're telling a lie. She can literally say what she wants. She can print her own money. It's that simple. Priscilla can print money with her mouth, with her words. Now, wherever she goes, she is treated like Elvis Presley. Priscilla is treated like Elvis Presley wherever she goes. She gets a round of applause, she gets a standing ovation, she gets chased down the road by the paparazzi, by the press, with pictures of Elvis that she has to sign. She signs autographs for money, for cash, even though she demanded the divorce. Around 1972, she demanded the divorce and left Elvis and was with other men. But even they're chasing her down the road as if she's still married to Elvis. They're chasing her down the road as if Elvis is the love of her life. There's no way that Elvis is the love of her life. We've proved this again and again and again. There's even proof out there that she may have been married to Marco Garibaldi. It's all alleged. All of this show is for entertainment purposes. It's just opinions. You get what I'm saying, guys? There is so much wrongdoing being done here by Priscilla. The whole world has been brainwashed and spoon-fed, and the majority of people believe it. This is what makes it all crazy. She's literally getting away with it. And how many people are standing up to Priscilla and exposing her lies? Almost nobody. Almost nobody. You've got the Elvis fans. Now, don't forget, the brainwashed Elvis fans, they think Elvis doesn't need defending. The Priscilla fans, who used to be Elvis fans, have now become Priscilla fans. They choose Priscilla over Elvis. Does that make any sense? That now you have an army of Priscilla fans who worship Priscilla, who give her a standing ovation wherever she goes. They choose Priscilla over Elvis. Come on. The world's gone mad. The world's gone mad. It's an upside down world. Elvis would turn in his grave Elvis would turn in his grave if he knew just how upside down everything has gone and crazy. If Elvis was there watching Priscilla receiving a Nashville, Tennessee award for doing nothing, the same award that he received in 1961 on March the 8th, he would go mad. If Elvis knew that Priscilla had dumped Lisa Marie into Scientology, if Elvis knew that at the hands of Priscilla's boyfriend, Michael Edwards, that Priscilla's boyfriend was allegedly abusing his daughter. I have to say it's for entertainment purposes only, allegedly. If Elvis knew that Michael Edwards had abused his daughter when she was a child, what would Elvis do? Priscilla was supposed to protect Lisa Marie. She was supposed to protect her. This poor girl that is... Come over here. This poor girl... Come on, it's all right. Oh, she doesn't like the pavement. Come on, it's okay. This poor girl that was dragged away from her father, age 4, to live with Mike Stone, a complete stranger. Everything has gone wrong for poor Lisa Marie since then. Who is the person that has benefited from the minute she left Elvis? Priscilla, from the day she left Elvis, has benefited in every way. Money, homes, men. She's had success in movies, in modeling, in promotional campaigns, in selling products. Every single thing in Priscilla's life, financially, and from the point of view of fame, from being the center of attention, from being in the spotlight, Priscilla has gained in every way. In every way. The whole world had fallen for the con, because the numbers game that Priscilla has been playing for 50 years has worked in her favor. Even though you've got people like me and Team Elvis that are trying to expose the truth, it doesn't matter, because the numbers game always works with Priscilla. She will always get the majority of people believing the lies, and this is where she always wins. The amount of people that watched her hugging that statue and watched the Sofia Coppola's film Priscilla, could you imagine how many of them have fallen for the lies? It's tragic, tragic. And now she will sit there being interviewed around the world. Woo. She will sit there being interviewed around the world, and they will kiss her ass. It's like the Piers Morgan interview is an embarrassment. The way Piers Morgan, the news guy, interviewed Priscilla and kissed her ass for an hour, comparing her to the Kennedys, to royalty, is an absolute joke. Piers Morgan treated Priscilla as if they were still married when Elvis died. Piers Morgan treated Priscilla as if she is the reason Elvis is remembered. It's an absolute joke. Absolute joke. It's a travesty. It's a travesty. I don't know why he did it. I'll never understand it. To this day, I will never understand why Piers Morgan didn't ask the hard-hitting questions that he should have asked. Anyway, guys, I'm getting home now. We've been walking for an hour, which means we've done 3 miles. We've done a 3-mile walk. How did that feel, guys? Yeah, like you say. If she hadn't have met him. That is the crazy thing about it. And poor Lisa Marie is in her grave, and Priscilla is running around the world making money with a big smile on her face, doing her personal appearances for cash, signing pictures and autographs for cash. She even charges a premium, $100 if it's not related to Elvis. If it is related to Elvis, $200. She doubles the price if it's a signature for Elvis. All of this is just an entertainment show. It's just opinions and alleged. Okay, guys. Well, David, thank you for joining us. We think your YouTube channel is excellent. Of course, we recommend people subscribe to David's channel. I think, isn't it called David's World of Elvis. You may not be still here, but David, thank you. We are going to be reviewing part 2 of the Bad Newheim interview on your show tomorrow. So we tried to do it today, but we lost signal. So David, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us. Team Elvis are so pleased that you joined us. Can you all thank David, please? It's a nice and pleasant surprise. Thanks, David. And join our Facebook, Defending Elvis Presley. We have a 24-hour chat on there. David, please join our Facebook, Defending Elvis Presley. And we have a 24-hour chat on there, and you can join it anytime you want. I'm home, guys. The dogs are happy. We've walked 3 miles. 3 miles of walking. Great exercise. Bye, everyone. Love you all. Take care. Now remember, we forgive Priscilla. We want an apology. Priscilla, if you ever watch our program, we forgive you, but we want an apology. We want an apology for the Elvis fans. We want an apology to Elvis's family. We want a public apology. Take care, guys.